Hi guys, today's video is a review of the Louis Vuitton Galliera GM. Here she is. Start with the dimensions. I'm going to be doing a comparison between the Galliera GM and the Delightful GM because I've had some questions on that. So this one's the Galliera GM. At its widest point, this is a very big bag. It's 20 inches wide. From top to bottom, 13 inches. The depth is 5. The strap width is 1 3/8. The strap drop, depending on where you have it set, on the longest or the shortest or in the middle, and also how much the bag is slouching, the strap drop is anywhere from a 9 to 11.5 inches. Now also kind of important to know is the mouth opening on the bag. In comparison with a Delightful, and you'll see in just a few minutes. Because it folds in right here, the mouth opening is only 11 1/4, so it's a huge bag in terms of how wide it is, 20 inches, but the mouth opening is only 11 1/4. So let me show you the Delightful GM. Here's the Delightful, and these bags are stuffed right now, so they're gonna look even bigger. But this just so you could see the dimensions. So the dimension of the Delightful GM across is 20, so about the same length as the Galliera. The height is 14, so approximately the same height, about an inch taller. The depth is wider on this one, it's 6.5. The strap width is a little bit wider, it's 1.5 inches wide. This one's non-adjustable strap. And the strap drop is a little bit more on this one. It's 10 to 14 because this one sags a little more. So let me put them side by side so you can see what they look like. Okay, here they are side by side, Galliera GM on the left and Delightful GM on the right. So they both have interesting detailing on the front. Let me turn them to the side. The Galliera on the left has a little more vachetta detailing on the side as opposed to the Delightful on the right. Let me just let you see the back and the bottom. The back detailing. And the bottom. The Galliera GM does have feet. I'm going to show you the interiors. The interior of the Galliera GM has this small pocket here. You could use lip glosses, maybe a very skinny phone. Your iPhone won't fit in there. And a snap front pocket. And there's room behind. Your date code is found here on this side, stamped into the Alcantara lining. Now, because it does have Alcantara lining, it does give the bag more structure. It feels a little more structure than the Delightful GM, and it also is a little heavier than the Delightful GM. As far as detailing on the Galliera, the inventor plate, the rivets are embossed with Louis Vuitton. The rings are embossed with Louis Vuitton. The rivets on the bottom are embossed with Louis Vuitton, and I'll show you a detailing for authenticity that you can tell on looking at these versus the fakes. Let me show you the Delightful. The Delightful GM has a textile lining, one zip pocket. The rings are embossed with Louis Vuitton. There are no feet on this bag, and the zippers on the front are embossed with Louis Vuitton. I've done a full review on the Delightful GM, and I'll put the link below for you to look that one up. So let me show you what the bags look like with stuff in them and how they look like modeling. Items in the Galliera GM, you can see lots of room. You can fit an iPad in there. It does fit folders. I don't know that it would fit a MacBook. Depends on, I don't own a MacBook, so I can't compare. But then remember, the mouth opening of this is 11 1/4, so you'd have to turn it and twist it. So it's a little restrictive. but lots of room in terms of carrying everyday items. Let me show you what it looks like on. Modeling shots with the Galliera GM. I'm 5'4". Here's the strap drop, and I have it set on the longest setting, so. And you can see it slouches when you have items inside. It's my pencil case, sorry. So it doesn't show the full 20-inch width because it does slouch a little bit. Not quite as much as the Delightful, as you'll see. Items in the Delightful GM, you can see lots of extra space. The zip pocket will hold the zippy wallet, full-size zippy wallet, no problem. So that gives you extra security and a lot more room in the bag. Hang on and I'll show you with some extra travel items. Okay, so this is additionally the iPad is in here, a folder, and a full-size laptop, a 17-inch laptop. So lots of room, and you still have extra room. So you could use this as a travel bag, a tote bag. Let me show you modeling. This is with the Delightful GM. This is just with regular items in. I don't have the iPad and the laptop in there. You can see, like the Galliera, it does slouch, but this one slouches a lot more because it is more relaxed hobo style. So that's the Galliera GM. It is a big bag, but I don't feel it's overpowering, at least not for me. When you put items in it, it does slouch, not quite as much as the Delightful GM because it is a little more structured. I've been pursuing this bag for quite a while. In January, if you look at my first video, I was going in for this bag and I got the Sully, and each time I went in to get the Galliera, I was always distracted by some other bag. So I probably didn't really want it at the time, but then when I finally decided I wanted it, they had discontinued the Galliera GM. This does come in a Damier Azur print also. I looked at a lot of pre-loved Galliera GM since that's the only way to get them nowadays, unless you live in Europe, and I understand they're still available in the EuropeLV.com. But here in America, you have to get them pre-loved. The thing about the Galliera is it doesn't age very well. Well known is the problems with the rings. When it rubs back and forth on the vachetta here, you can get black marks here. And when I purchased this bag, it had quite a bit of black marks and stains. I've removed most of it. You might, yeah, right there, like this. So all along here, you can develop black marks from the brass rings. I used lead in my bags and removed it, so you can't tell, with the exception of that spot there. The thing is, unless you have the plastic rings, you're going to get those spots again. So I just clean them again and again with lead in my bags. Now, you can take the Galliera GM into LV, and they will replace these rings for you with the ones with the plastic inserts. And there's a tiny, thin plastic ring that's on the inside of the new rings. Supposedly they're supposed to decrease the black marks on the vachetta because they give you just a little bit of clearance in terms of the brass touching the vachetta. LV will do it for free. My LV told me they could do it there as long as they could get the rings off, and she did try to get the rings open, but she could not. She said that if she had been able to, they could just order the part in and she could change it for me in the store. But since they couldn't open this part, there's this little rivet here, screw. Since she couldn't get that open, she would have to send it off to have it repaired. It would take 2 to 3 weeks. Again, it would be free, no cost to me. So I haven't decided to do that yet because I have heard from people who had the rings replaced that you still get the black marks. But the Galliera doesn't age very well. Most of the ones that you see pre-loved are pretty beaten up. So, but if you do find one and all the problem is just the marks on the vachetta here, you might consider, if it's a good price, purchase it and use lead in my bags on it because I did, and you can see the handle looks pretty good. The vachetta along here looks good, except for that one spot that I need to re-clean, and also on here. The Delightful, of course, does not have that problem with the rings, so, you know, if you're considering one or the other, which one is best kind of just depends on you. The Delightful, as I said, can be used for travel. I don't think you could really use this one for travel, at least I couldn't, because like I say, the mouth opening is too restrictive. You wouldn't be able to get stuff easily in and out of it as you can with the Delightful. You can put travel pillow, sweater, blanket, magazines, laptop, iPad, everything in that bag and carry it. And because it slouches a little bit, it's a little more secure than, say, maybe a Neverfull would be, because the mouth of the bag closes as it has weight in it, and it's carried fairly close to you under your arm, so kind of more secure than the the Neverfull. So let me show you one thing you can tell, which I found serendipitous, by telling the authentic Delightful. Hold on just a second. If you look between the Vuitton and the Louis, you'll see right there the little floor, which is imprinted into the rivet on the authentic. You don't really find that on the fakes. Hang on just a second. And you see it here on the rivet on the handle as well. That's a detail that the replicas don't have. The Galliera GM also comes in a PM version in the monogram and also damier azur. The PM version is still a quite sizable bag. It's not like it's a petite thing. If you put all of my items that you saw in this video in the PM, it fits comfortably, but there's no extra room. Whereas this, as you can see, gives me extra room, and I tend to like a lot more room. So, but like I say, a PM would work fine also. So that's my review of the Galliera GM and a quick comparison with the Delightful GM. I will be doing a comparison video about the Delightful series, the PM, MM, and GM coming up, so look for that. Thanks. Have a great holiday season. Bye.